रन चल रहा
है शुक्लाकरतरङ्गेश्वं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनध्याये सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये जगत्प्रतिमं प्रत्येकाम् उद्धारं प्रत्यामि विद्येत्वस्तु मे सदा गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुविष्णुः गुरुदेवो गुरुसाक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः स्तुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आदिसंस्कृतालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः भारतनाट्यं ज्ञानपञ्चाशत्तिनं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं गणनाथं तत्त्वो गणेशदो भावो गोपालनः वासो वत्सस्तु विद्युक्ता उत्तम गीता मुदं महत् वसुदेवसुदं देवं भक्तचारुभक्तनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्
All are requested to open up the video. Otherwise, I'll be talking to a blank screen. Okay. Okay. So we were just discussing how Veda is becoming important source of how to conduct our day-to-day life. In other words, our day-to-day life has got a bearing on the Vedas instruction. So the Veda. Now we look into some of the important points of the thing. Veda has got different names. All of them has got an important meaning. It is Veda, also called Shastra, or it is Shruti. Various other words are also there. At least these three words are often used synonymously. The word Veda is derived from the root vid, to know. Okay, so one way of the explanation is that the vid plus ganj dhatu, ganj pratyaya, giving rise to Veda. Okay. Meaning it gives out the meaning in the sense of and it's also it is teaching the dharma, and the dharma is the main thing for the first two purushartha, that is the artha and kama, and also dharma is also important for the moksha, which is supposed to be the final purushartha or the purushartha. Then artha and kama are the legitimate way of earning in one's life, but at the same time one will get a relative happiness, because the happiness is the endeavor for which all the day-to-day work are carried out. So by following what Veda says, one will be able to get a relatively happy life. And ultimately, when the moksha part comes into the picture, it points out the very swarupa of everybody as Ananda Swarupa, which is nothing but happiness. It is not Vishaya happiness, it is everyone's Swarupa itself. So for what we want is what the Veda says. So the derivation of the word Veda, one way of looking at then is Purushartha Sadhanam Vindate iti Vedaha. Purushartha Sadhanam Vindate. Sadhanam means a means, a way of way of following the instruction. So Purushartha Sadhanam, Purushartham is nothing but we are saying Artha, Kama through Dharma and Moksha. So that Purushartha Sadhanam Vindate Anena, by which it is called Veda. So the very derivation indicates it is a Karana Vitpatti. The Veda becomes a means for the Purushartha, a relative happiness and final Swarupa happiness. Okay.
Sir.
Then the word.
Sir, இப்போ ஸ்ருதிங்கிறது வந்து வேதா அப்படின்னா ஸ்மிருதிங்கிறது என்னது சார்?
I'll come to that. Everything okay. I'll cover it. Okay. Then Shastra is the another one. It comes from the Shas Dhatu. Okay. So what it means, Shasanat Trayate iti Shastraha. Shasanat means by giving instruction, by giving commandment, you do this way to earn Artha and Kama, and you follow this way to get the moksha. That way indicating through certain instruction, it meets requirement of the people. So Shasanat Trayate iti Shastraha. Or another way of looking at Shasati Bodhayati iti Shastra. Shasati means it instructs. Bodhayati, it reveals. That way also it is Shastra. Then Shishyate Anena iti is also Shastra. Shishyate teaches, it unfolds the mission. Shishyate Anena iti Shastra. So this way, various way of looking at it, the meaning of Shastra. Then the word Shruti, as we know, it is from the Shru Dhatu, to hear. Traditionally, the Veda mantras were being taught from Guru to Shishya. It is the Karna Paramparaya, it used to come. So that is why it's called Shruti. Then based on the Shruti, there are a lot of Dharma Shastras are all written later, and they are all called recollecting by memory, recollecting what is basically in the Shastra. The codification was done by the Dharma Shastra. They are all called Smriti. Smr Dhatu, to remember or to recollect. From the Smr Dhatu, Smriti comes into the picture. And the whole Veda is called Apaurusheya Vishayam. Purusha Vishayam Nanaka Purusha Paurusheyam means it is from the source of a Purusha, from a human intellect. Whereas Veda, as we look at it, as our Shastra itself says, it is Apaurusheyam. It is not done by one single individual. It is all there in the creation all along. It's supposed to be perennially anadi. It is perennially, it is there. In each Srishti, the Veda is there. It is considered to be the very breath of the Ishvara himself. That is how we look at it. And these mantras are all along there, and the rishis who have got the power to absorb it, they give out in every Srishti. So all the rishis are called mantra drashtaha. So this is how the Veda has come. Okay. Then today what we have is only very small portion of the whole Veda. We all know Veda has got the Rit, Yajur, Sama, Atharva. This is one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it, there are three types. The three types means one set of Vedas are in the prose form, which are all called Yajur Veda. Then other set of Vedas are called in the poetic way. They are called Rig Veda. And there are other things which are all recited in a musical manner. So it is called Sama Veda. So the real division is in terms of its structure is only three: prose, poetry, and the geetha, and this singing. Atharva Veda, which is considered as the fourth one, it is not a separate structure in terms of thing. It is not a separate structure, but it will be in the either prose form or in the poetry form. And this division of prose form, poetry form is a predominant. It is not very strictly adhered. How they are all done, grouped like that? Well, Vedavyasa have done that way. Whatever the mantras available, he grouped them in the way. The third way of looking at 5 Vedas, because the Yajurveda has got two divisions. One is Krishna Yajurveda and Shukla Yajurveda. So Vedas, either they are 3, 4 or 5, depending upon how we look at it. This is the Veda. So for the word Smriti, the derivation or the etymological meaning is Vedartha Anuvada Vakyam. Vedartha Anuvada Vakyam. Anuvada means in keeping with what Veda says, this Smriti codifies them. It gives all, see the various, the Yajurveda means, when we say Yajurveda, when we declare what Shaka we belong, we say Yajurveda Adhyayi, we say. And then in that, which retention we belong to also is done by saying Apastamba Sutra. This Apastamba Sutra is it is codified form of what is there in the Shastra itself for a day-to-day living. That Apastamba Sutra is done by Apastamba Rishihi and it comes under Smriti. So the Apastamba Sutra written by the Apastamba Rishihi is not part of the Veda, it is Smriti. Okay? This is how the divisions are there. Then the followed of the Shruti and Smriti are our Itihasa and Puranam. The values which are being taught in the Shastra, Satyam Vada, Dharmam Chara, Yajnadigal Kuru, all these things are there as an instruction in the Veda. These are all being taught in a very simple manner by way of story, how to live a life of values. Then that stories are either based on some real life character or it is an assumed character. The real life characters are depicted in the Itihasa. Iti ha asa. This is how the definition is. Iti, in this manner, ha, indeed, asa, it was there. So when we say Itihasa, the Mahabharatam and Ramayanam are considered to be Itihasa. So the Rama in the Ramayanam, Dasaratha in Ramayanam, or other characters in the Ramayanam, or most of them are indeed true characters. Around them, a story was spun to depict the values. The main purpose of the Ramayanam is to adapt to the life of Dharma. Okay? Then Mahabharatam is again another story spin around two groups of people, the Pandavas and the Kauravas. They all may be full, or all of them may be real character, or some of them may be the character, some of them could be fictitious. Yes. Either way, it's all the stories are spin around them to convey certain ideas. And Mahabharatam's main idea is also to teach the Moksha Shastra. Because the Bhagavad Gita, which we are going to study, is part of the Mahabharata. So it is a part of the Purana. So that means Purana is also considered as a Smriti. So the Veda and Vedanta are all Shruti, and Bhagavad Gita is considered as Smriti Grantha. Okay? But since the Bhagavad Gita is taught by the Bhagavan himself, it is assumed a status of the Shruti itself. It's considered as a Veda itself. That is what we are reciting in the beginning of the class. Sarva Upanishad, Sarvopanishato Gavo Dokta Gopala Nandanaha Partho Vatsa Sudirbhukta Duktam Gita Bradam. I will tell the meaning later on. The whole Veda, if it is considered as a cow, Bhagavan is extracting the milk from the cow to Arjuna, and through Arjuna is instructing all of us. Okay, that means Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the Veda, but Bhagavad Gita principally has got a status of Smriti, whereas Veda or Vedantam has got a status of Shruti. Is that okay, clear for all of you? Are there any questions?
Namaste Guruji. You said Smriti, Bhagavad Gita comes in Smriti because it is taken as Veda, it also becomes Shruti, right?
It is based on Veda, and it is given by Bhagavan himself. And essence of Veda is there. So although it is written by Vyasa, because Mahabharatam written by Vyasa, it is a Paurusheya. So it cannot directly have the status of the Shruti. So it is a Smriti only. But the one who gave the Bhagavad Gita is Bhagavan himself. So it can be considered as a Shruti also.
Dhanyavad.
Okay.
Sir, anything written comes under Smriti, sir. Antamari number edukonuma, sir. Anything written by our sages, nammaloda munivargal, that is considered as Smriti, and other than that, proper linear la varadu vande namba Shruti nu edukonuma, sir. Apdiya.
Written kuda, many of the things is not written also Smritis. All again in the oral tradition was there only. Later on it was put on the writing. Even if you take Mahabharata, our story is Vyasa, he was just keep on, he wanted to put it on the whole Mahabharata. Then he was looking, his mind is, its thinking power is fantastic. Nobody can stop it. So you want somebody who can take it down as he talks. like a shorthand. So then Ganesha came into the picture. There was an understanding between them, so that is how it was done. Okay. Any other question? Okay. Now, in terms of how any of the Veda, whether it is a Rig Veda, Ayurveda Veda, Sama Veda, Other Veda, Adharma Veda, they got 4 divisions. We are called, the 4 divisions are called, first one is called the mantra portion. Then second division is called the Brahmana portion. It has nothing to do with the Brahmin. It is a technical name. So Brahmana portion. Then the third is called the Aranyakam portion. And the final one is called Vedanta or Upanishad. So mantra, we got another name also, I said. Mantra, Brahmana, Aranyakam and Upanishad or Vedanta. In terms of content, the mantra portion are called all the various basic mantras which are used in ritual. Either it will be the praise of a devata or it is some act of devata will be there. For example, the Rudram, Chamakam, Purusha Suktam, all other Suktam, Sri Suktam, Bhagya Suktam, Durga Suktam, all these suktas are all, you will find it in the mantra portion. So these sutras will be used in the rituals, in the yajnas that will be done. Predominantly, all these things are predominant because these divisions was created later only. Veda doesn't have this division on its own. It was compiled by Veda Vyasa and then it added that structure. So although we say that the mantra, the first portion is mantra, it need not be the mantra form also totally. Predominantly mantra portion. Then the second is called the Brahmana portion, which says which mantras are to be used in which ritual, why it is used into a ritual. So these are all codified in the Brahmana portion. Again, predominantly. Then the third is Aranyaka portion. There are upasanas are there, meditative verses are there, and they are all these meditative or upasana are all not the normal upasana like what we do in our day-to-day life, like Om Namah Shivaya, Om Narayanaya. It is not like that. It is in the cosmic world. It is in the total world is taken as a upasana. So that is the Aranyaka portion. Predominantly, it will be there. It will be meditative verses. Meditate how to do the meditation. Hiranya Garbha Upasanam, Virat Upasanam. These are all will be there. Then the final portion is called Vedanta. Vedanam Antaha. It's iti Vedantaha. Those things which are there at the end of a Veda. So after all the things, that is the mantra, the Brahmana, Aranyaka, and then finally is a Vedanta. And Vedanta is a portion which is talking about Jiva Ishvara Aikyam, or that is called Moksha Shastram. It is talking about the final Purushartha, which is called Moksha Purushartha. Is the divisions clear? These are all in general the divisions, okay? But again, this is not very systematically followed, because we have to keep it in mind, it is not done by one single individual. It all were there, and by this codification Vyasa has put them together. So what will happen, there are many Upanishads, you might find it in the mantra portion itself, or now the Upanishads are considered to be Vedanta. So strictly speaking, it should be at the end of the Veda, but there are Upanishads which find its place in the mantra portion itself, or there may be other Vedanta which may be there in the Brahmana portion itself. So it will be declared in that particular Upanishad, this belongs to which Veda and where positionally it is there. For example, the Ishavasya Upanishad. Okay, this Upanishad, it is there in the very much there in the mantra portion itself. Okay, this is also one has to keep it in mind. Now, the first three divisions, that is the mantra portion, Brahmana portion, and the Aranyaka portion, these are all one set. They are all sadhya sadhana related. Sadhya or sadhana sadhya, which is better. Sadhana sadhya. Sadhana means it is a means for doing, or the way of doing. Sadhanam. Okay. Then sadhyam means the result to be obtained. So these three portions say, then it is talking about what sadhanam is to be used to get a sadhyam, a result. Okay, for example, the Veda prescribes the Putra Kameshti Yajna. So Putra Kameshti means the one who doesn't have the progeny, if they do this Putra Kameshti Yajna in the prescribed manner, they are bound to get the progeny. So the mantra, which mantras are to be used, how many ritviks are to be used, what regulation those people should follow before the yajna and during the yajna, and what ahutis are to be offered, how many ahutis are offered, all these things are all only the Veda says. Okay? So sadhana, sadhya are the one which finds place in the mantra portion. That is what mantras are to be used as a sadhanam. And from Brahmana portion, which are all the ways in which that is to be done, and along with the ritual and upasana also is to be done, that is there in the Aranyaka portion. This is how it is done. This is the sadhanam, means. Sadhyam in the case of Putra Kameshti will be the progeny. So sadhya, sadhana, way of doing it. That is called the Purva Bhaga. All the three together called Purva Bhaga of the Veda. Same one Veda has got this Purva Bhaga, and the Uttara Bhaga is the Vedanta or the Upanishad. To put it other way, the Purva Bhaga then prescribes the karma which are to be done to get a particular result. Then the Uttara portion, that is the Parama Purushartha or Moksha, as the Shastra looks at it, it is to begin with, it is to be sadhyam, it is to be achieved. But finally it says it's the moksha is already siddha vishaya. Siddha vishaya means already everyone is a moksha purusha. They are mukta purusha. கொஞ்சம் புரியறதுக்கு கஷ்டமா இருக்கும், I will say. But to begin with, it also can be considered as a end to be achieved. And what is the sadhanam for that? So sadhya sadhanam of Vedanta is the Uttarabhaha or Vedanta Bhaga. Okay, is that clear now? If there are any, these are all divisions ought to be very clearly known. Okay. No. When Veda is telling all these things, this sadhya sadhana, Veda is considered to be a pramanam. This is the very important. Please follow it very, very carefully. Okay. Pramanam, first one has to define what is meant by pramanam. Prama karoti iti pramanam. It is from the dhatu me to measure with the prefix pra plus lyut pratyaya, together it becomes pramanam. Prama karoti, pramanaka, it gives rise to an independent knowledge. Prama karoti iti pramanam, meaning that which gives rise to an independent knowledge. Every word is important. That which gives rise to independent knowledge. Okay. Our Shastra also define what makes a particular subject, a particular thing as a pramanam, or to qualify a thing to be called a pramanam, it has to have 4 characteristics. It could be a Veda or it could be anything else. If it has to qualify itself as a pramanam, that means that which gives rise to independent knowledge, it has to have 4 clear requirements should be there. First and foremost, it is called anadigatvam. Anadigatvam. Simple meaning is giving rise to independent knowledge. Adhigatvam, adoda opposite anadhigatvam. Adhigatvam naka, through something more you have to learn. For example, if you take our Laukika, this thing, if one were to get PhD in physics, first he has to pass the +2. அது மட்டும் படிச்சா போறாது. It is not enough. It is limited. He has to do more. Adhigatvam he has to do. So he has to do BSc Physics. Then BSc Physics itself is not sufficient. Again he has to do Adhigatvam. He has to do MSc. Even that will not do, then he has to do the specialization. So that means it is one has to qualify to get into the next level. So that means there is no end to it. Whereas when say a particular thing is a pramanam, it is the only means for getting at that knowledge totally. Let me first explain all the 4 requirements and then give example of the various pramanams. Okay? So the first one is anadhigatvam. Second one, abaditvam. Na bhadam kurvanti. It cannot be negated by another pramanam. Abadidatvam. That means this pramana which has given a knowledge, if given a particular knowledge, should not be negated by another pramanam. The knowledge given by one pramanam should not be negated by another pramanam. Then only that first pramanam gets the status of pramanam. If it gets negated, then it is no more a pramanam. So anadhigatvam, abaditvam. Then the third one is artha bodhagatvam. Artha bodhagatvam. Then the knowledge that it gives should be sensible. It should not be, it is a guesswork at all. It has to be a really a verifiable result. So artha bodhagatvam. It should teach artha. It should be purushartha or whatever it may be. It should be able to very clearly say. So anadhigatvam, abaditvam, arthabodhagatvam. Then final one, palavat. It should give rise to a useful result. It should be useful to the individual who uses the pramana. Okay, can somebody read out all what are the 4 requirements?
To qualify a thing to be a pramanam, it has to have 4 clear requirements. First one is anadhigatvam, that means giving rise to independent knowledge. That is the opposite of adhigatvam. Then the second one is abadhigatvam or abaditvam. Cannot be negated by another pramana. It should not be negated by any other pramana. The third one is arthabodhagatvam. The knowledge gained should be sensible. It should clearly teach an artha. Then the fourth is balavat. That knowledge, that pramana, when we use, it should be useful to the individual.
It is palavat, not balavat. Second part. Palavat.
Then is that?
Palavat.
Okay. Oh, palavat. Okay.
Palam na result. Palavat. Sorry? Second one, abaditatvam. Badagam karodinaka, to negate. It should not be negated by another one.
Thank you.
It is your homework to derive how these words are all derived from the dhatu. Okay? Then you will get a better idea of the whole thing. Fine. Then there are 6 pramanas are there in our day-to-day life. 6 pramanas we make use of. All the 6 one have got the status of pramana. Okay. So the 6 pramanas are, first and foremost is a pratyaksha pramana. Pratyaksham naka prati aksham bhavati iti pratyaksham. Aksham naka all our sense organs. Okay, together akshina kannu mattum, aksham naka all the 5 sense organs, or we in Sanskrit we call the 5 jnanendriyas, indriyas which gives rise to knowledge of external thing. 5 jnanendriyas: eyes, ear, nose, tongue and skin. So whatever we are experiencing through these 5 are all pratyaksham to us. We directly experience. Through eye, we experience the color of the object. Primarily, the eye is a pramanam for color. So, eye is a pramanam for color. Ear is a pramanam for sound. Tongue is a pramanam for the taste. Nose is a pramanam for smell. Then skin is a pramanam for touch. So when I say pramanam, these are all pratyaksha pramanam. They have to meet all the 4 requirements I told earlier. Anadikatvam, abaditvam, arthabodhakatvam and palavat. Idu nalayum meet pannina, they can be called pramanam. How they all individually become pramanam, I will explain. First I will say, list out all the 6 pramanam. Of the 6 pramanam, first one is pratyaksham, consisting of 5 jnanendriyas. Second one is called anumana pramanam. Anumanam means, it is in English they call inference. It is more than inference. It is not simple. The technicality of that we will see later. How the anumana pramanam is, once it's pratyaksha pramanam, we directly experience. If there is a flower and it is red in color, and then we know that this is a hibiscus flower. This is pratyaksham for us. We don't require anything else for that. Once it is understood, it is hibiscus flower, or it is a rose flower, or it is lily, or whatever it may be. It is directly visible to our eye. Whereas anumana is, we experience a certain thing, but we come to a conclusion. In the long distance, we have seen behind a mountain there is a smoke. We see there is smoke coming out. So we decide there must be fire. This is called anumana. We are not seeing the fire directly through our eye, but we have got another knowledge. Wherever there is a fire, there will be smoke, because invariably we will be using of the wet fuel, whether it is a wood or anything. Some wetness will be there. So wetness associated with the fuel will give rise to smoke. So this is our pratyaksham has taught us, wherever there is a fire, there will be smoke. This is the pratyaksha pramana. Based on that, we are doing an anumana. In the distance there is a smoke, so there must be a fire. So the fire, although we have not seen, we have very conclusively derived that behind the mountain, there must be a fire. This is also a pramanam, anumana pramanam. But anumana pramanam, to qualify for anumanam, again it has to meet five different criteria. all those things we will see later. See, our Shastra is not very simple. Everything is defined. If we have to make out a conclusion using an Anumana, it has to meet 5 criteria again. We cannot just like that conclude. Okay. So, Pratyaksha, Anumana. Then next one is called Arthapatti. Arthena apattihi, it is Arthapatti. Arthapatti is also an inference, but it is a 2-level inference. Anumana is a 1-level inference, whereas Arthapatti is a 2-level inference. That means, in the case of Anumana, we have seen the smoke directly, and for which we conclude there must be a fire. Whereas in the case of Arthapatti, what happened? The night when we were sleeping, and morning when we got up, the whole road is wet. Okay, not up. And then there is a puddle of water is also there on the various places. So then we conclude it would have been rained. Rain paakala, directavum paakala. Ippo rain vandu ponadukku appuram we have seen the puddle of water and the street is wet. So through the street is wet and the puddle of water is there, therefore it should have been rained in the night. Rained in the night, we come to the conclusion through two intermediate knowledge. Water will wet is one Anumana. Then second Anumana, since the puddle of water is there in the night, it would have been rain. So this is called Arthapatti. All our medical investigations are all Arthapatti. All are Arthapatti. 2-level inferences are taken. Whether right from whether whether I got a fever or not, we put the thermometer. Thermometer says it is 101. That 101 we have only derived, and that too by the instrument which the mercury rises up to the thing. So the one inference is the mercury level. Second inference it shows 101, and the third inference is 98.4 is a normal, because they have got statistics for most of the people. 98.4 Fahrenheit is a normal thing. So 101 is abnormal, and hence fever is there. This is a simple thing. And whether one had a heart attack or one is having a diabetes, all these things are all Arthapatti based. Another example of Arthapatti, 2-level inference is, this person is fasting all day, whole day. Whole day this person is fasting, and then he doesn't eat anything. Then over a period we see that person has not loosened weight at all. So how is it possible? For 1 month, if somebody doesn't eat, he would have definitely gone down in his weight, but he is the same weight. So that means we come to the conclusion, this person is not eating during the daytime, he must be eating during the night. So this is another Arthapatti. Okay. So in the Arthapatti, part of it is the inference, and inference will have to have the 5 criteria. So Arthapatti also is not a simple thing that we can conclude. It requires a lot of investigation. Okay. So Pratyaksha, Anumana, Arthapatti. Then Upamana. Upamana means example. Somebody has not seen the wild boar. He had never seen that. So someone else is telling him, the showing the normal fig which is available, and then the features of the fig he explains to him, and the wild boar will be bigger in size with the ferocious look. This it will be like that. So an upamana has been given in terms of fig for understanding the wild boar. So this is also another way of it become pramanam. Upamana also becomes a pramana. But the one who gives that example should be an authentic person. Anybody, any Tom, Dick and Carey can say something and goes away, like what happens in WhatsApp these days. They say something and then forward it to n number of people. They have not even verified whether that particular news is correct or not. Other day there was a WhatsApp news which says that the whole Paris is flooding, including the Eiffel Tower. It is all sunk. It's a wrong information. Nothing of that like that was happened. Somebody has manipulated the photo the shop there, then they have put it. So this is not that type of thing will not become a pramana at all. So upamana, and the fifth one is called anupalabdhi. Upalabdhina, it is what we can see directly. Anupalabdhina, what we are not witnessed directly. For example, what do you see on my hand? What do you see on my hand?
A mobile.
A mobile you are seeing. Okay. So now what do you see on my hand?
Nothing.
No mobile. Okay. That there is no mobile on my hand at this point of time, at this place, is a new knowledge to me. So, not a simple absence of a thing, it is absence of a thing which was there, which I have witnessed in that place. In that place, that thing is not there now. So, that is called Anupalabdhi Pramanam. So there is no mobile on my hand at this point of time is a new knowledge to me. So that is all. That's a fifth pramana. And the final pramanam is a shastra, shruti. So somebody can say, what are the six pramanas?
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து பிரத்யக்ஷ பிரமாணம். அது வந்து நம்மளோட 5 சென்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஆர்கன்ஸ், அது வந்து ஐ, இயர், நோஸ், டங் அண்ட் ஸ்கின், அது வந்து பிரத்யக்ஷ பிரமாணம். அதோட எக்ஸ்பிளனேஷன் வந்து கண்ணால பார்க்குறோம், காதால கேட்குறோம், மூக்குனால நம்ம நுகர்றோம், வாயோட டங்குனால நம்ம வந்து உணர்றோம், ஸ்கின் வந்து நம்ம ஸ்பரிசம் தெரியுது. ரெண்டாவது வந்து அனுமான பிரமாணம். சார், எனக்கு அனுமான பிரமாணத்துக்கும் அனுபலப்தி பிரமாணத்துக்கும் எனக்கு புரியல சார். ஃபைன். அனுமான பிரமாணம்ங்கிறது வந்து நம்ம ஒரு மலைக்கு பின்னாடி ஒரு புகை வருது அப்படின்னா, ஓ அங்க நெருப்பு இருக்குங்கிறதுக்கும் அதனால உங்களுக்கு புகை வருது அப்படிங்கிறத நம்ம தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறோம். அது வந்து அனுமானம் பண்ணி நம்ம தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறோம். அது வந்து அனுமான பிரமாணம். அதுல வந்து இட் இஸ் அன் ஒன் லெவல் ஆஃப் இன்ஃபரன்ஸ். அந்த இடத்துல ஒரு புகை வந்திருக்கு அப்படிங்கிறது இட் இஸ் ஒன் லெவல் ஆஃப் இன்ஃபரன்ஸ். அதை வச்சு நம்ம அதை ஒரு டிசைட் பண்ணிக்கிறோம் அப்படிங்கிறது தான் அதோட இது.
One step pramanam to distinguish from the next one, that is arthapati, which has got a two-step pramanam. Two stepla we arrive at the final.
Okay.
Two step.
Okay. So arthapati வந்து two step இன்ஃபரன்ஸ். அதுதான் வந்து நம்ம ஒரு படல் ஆஃப் ராத்திரி தூங்கிட்டு காத்தால எழுந்திருந்தோம்னா ரோடு ஈரமா இருக்குங்கிறது ஒன்றும், அந்த இடத்துல ஒரு குட்டை மாதிரி ஒரு ஜலம் இருக்கிறதுங்கிறது ரெண்டாவதும் அதை வச்சு நம்ம டிசைட் பண்ணிக்கிறோம். ஓ நேற்று கொஞ்சம் நைட்டு மழை பெஞ்சிருக்கு அப்படிங்கிறத வச்சு நம்ம டிசைட் பண்ணிக்கிறோம். ஸோ அது அர்த்தாபத்தி. உபமானம் in terms of example it has to be told. ஒரு 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 மிருகத்தை யாரும் பார்க்கலைன்னா அதுக்கு அப்ராக்சிமேட்டா இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும், அதுதான் நீங்க பிக் அண்ட் போர் சொன்னீங்க. ஸோ அதை வச்சு நம்ம உபமானம் கொடுத்து நம்ம கொடுக்கறது தான் உபமான பிரமாணம். அனுபலப்தி நம்ம என்ன விட்னஸ் பண்ணலையோ அந்த பர்டிகுலர் பாயிண்ட் ஆஃப் டைம்ல அது நம்மளுக்கு காமிக்கிறது
particular point of time, particular place la non availability of a thing becomes a new knowledge. That is called anupalapti. Arthapatthiki we see the smoke. Okay. Smoke irundhe irukku, adu irundhe irukka samayathu conclude. Whereas mobile irundhe illama.
Okay sir, understood.
Okay. Then the shastra is a final pramanam. இதுல இந்த first 5 பிரமாணத்துக்கு the jeshta pramanam, the mukhya pramanam is the pratyaksham. Pratyaksham irundha tha anumanam is possible, pratyaksham irundha tha arthapatti possible, pratyaksham irundha tha upamana is possible, pratyaksham irundha tha anupalabdhi possible. Okay, so of the 5, 4 are the subsidiary and pratyaksham is the main. Okay, then shastram is a final pramanam. It final pramanam in the sense what shastra says will finally overrule the pratyaksha pramanam also. The simple reason is pratyaksha pramanam is the conclusion derived by a purusha. It is paurusheyam, whereas the shastra pramanam is apaurusheyam. So apaurusheya pramanam is baliyan. This is very important. How is it also we will see. Okay, இந்த மாதிரி everything is pramanamங்கறதுனால we are able to conduct our day to day life. இது பிரமாணமா இல்லாம anything can give rise to any knowledge நக்க விவஸ்தையே இருக்காது. Okay, for example, I'll explain. Now I is a pramanam for color, primarily color, secondarily for the shape. Because the shape one can know by touch also, by skin. So another pramanam coming into the picture, whereas eye is a pramanam for identifying the color. So that means the color can be recognized only and only by eye alone. If that happens only, eye becomes a pramanam. Pramanam, pratyaksha pramanam. Okay, if there is a ball and the ball is red color, I operate my eye and the ball are in alignment. Then once it is alignment, the knowledge that this is a red ball will automatically take place. Okay, so that way the eye gives a independent knowledge. That is, it has got meet the requirement of anadikatvam, that which gives rise to independent knowledge. that it is redங்கிறது காதால சென்ஸ் பண்ண முடியாது, நாக்கால சென்ஸ் பண்ண முடியாது, மூக்கால சென்ஸ் பண்ண முடியாது, ஸ்கின்னால சென்ஸ் பண்ண முடியாது. Color can be cognized only and only by the eye. So the eye meets the first requirement of anadhigatvam. Correct? Okay. Then the second criteria which the eye has to meet to see the color, it needs to be abhaditatvam, which is a corollary only. I see it is red in color. Somebody comes and tells me through ear, I know this is not red, this is green. Can somebody say? I cannot have scope to see the color. Neither eye, neither ear, nor tongue, nor any of the other 5 pramanas, other 4 pratyaksha pramana. When other 4 pratyaksha pramana cannot negate, then the corollary is the anumana cannot negate, arthapatti cannot negate, upamana cannot negate, and anupalabdhi cannot negate, nor Veda can negate. So all other pramanam cannot negate the color which is for which eye is a pramanam. Correct? It is very obvious for us. என்னதான் மாடர்ன் சயின்ஸ் வந்து the most sophisticated ophthalmologists இருந்தாலும் நம்ம போய் கண்ணு டெஸ்ட் பண்ற சமயத்துல நீங்க எல்லாரும் ஸ்பெக்டக்கல் போட்டுன்னு இருக்கவா எல்லாருக்கும் இருக்கிற எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் அது. என்ன பண்ணுவா, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஃப்ரேமை போட்டுட்டு தூரத்துல போர்டு பாருங்கிற. ஓகே, ask you to read on the board. So I told you this joke also. So one person, the doctor asked this person, see the letters on the board. I'll get on where is the board? Okay. So the board you have to read. Then you will read up to certain level. Beyond that you cannot see. Okay. That you cannot see a certain level. You only can see. The doctor cannot know. Neither the assistant. Then he will put a lens. Now how is it? Again he expects you to reply, no, I can see up to the 5th line. Then he puts next one. Then again 6th line slightly I am able to see it. Then the other eye, this eye they will close it, other eye they will do the whole thing. Then they will adjust for the astigmatism, they will adjust the same and then say whether this is better or this is better, for which we only have to decide. We are the only operator of the pramana of the eye to decide whether this is okay or not. None of the ophthalmologists, none of the modern instruments can decide that. So it is clear, eye is a pramana. Similarly, kaadukku test panna ponanu minnala and they will use the what you call as the tongue, adu vibrate panni edu varaikum kekkuradhu. Ipo they are making use of modern instrument, but still they will see only the frequency, but you have to say this up to this frequency you are able to hear or not, you have to say. So whether kaadu seriya kekkuradana namma dhaan decide pannuvom. Okay, so for them to decide about the sound, the ear is pramana. Okay, sorry. Now coming back to this. So rendu criteria of the eye has met with that. It is anadhigatvam, that is it gives rise to independent knowledge of color. 2 is abhaditatvam, the knowledge given by the eye cannot be negated by other pramanas. Okay. Then the third one, arthabodhagatvam, that means that knowledge I got that this is a red ball, a red object, it will be useful. If somebody asks me, you bring that red ball, then I know that red ball from the various other colors of ball, and I bring that red ball. So it is becoming useful. It becomes it is sensible. Okay. So that way the arthabodhakatvam is also there. Okay. Then palavat. It may be palavat for me or palavat for the person. If the person asks me, bring the red ball, then you bring the red ball and give it to him, so he gets the red ball. So then I become an independent pramanam for color, and then it meets all the 4 criteria of anadigatvam, abhaditatvam, arthabodhagatvam, and palavat. Okay. Similarly, other 4 jnanendriyas also are independent pramanam. Ear is an independent pramanam for sound. Tongue is an independent pramanam for the taste. Nose is an independent pramanam for smell. And the skin is an independent pramanam for the smoothness, roughness, hot or cold. And all of them are primarily pramanam for these particular aspects. Okay. So this is the very important aspects to be remembered for all of you. You list it out, have it with you. Then next class we will see the other pramanam of anumana, arthapatti, etc. Because anumanam, arthapatti, etc. all depend upon the pratyaksha pramanam. If there are certain conclusions we are arrived at by the anumana pramanam, which proves to be wrong, that means there is a defect in our understanding. For example, in the distant mountain we had seen a smoke. Basically, because our seeing power is not sufficient enough, it could only be a dust. There will be, let's say there was something, what you call as they were cutting some mountain, this thing, the dust would have come. I concluded that it is, instead of dust, I took it for the smoke, and then concluded there is a fire. So when my defect of the eye, I have a wrong perception, my conclusion is also wrong. Okay. So in other words, what I am trying to say is, this arthapatti, anumana, arthapatti, upamana and anupalupti, they are pramanam to a large extent, but they are subservious to the pratyaksha pramanam. Anumana pramanam can be negated by pratyaksha pramanam. Okay? By going and seeing at the other side of the mountain itself, and then we find there is no fire at all. Similarly, arthapatti pramanam can be negated by pratyaksha. Upamana pramanam can be negated by pratyaksha. Then anupanupti pramanam can be negated by pratyaksha. So pratyaksham becomes, in our day-to-day life, pratyaksham is become the primary pramanam for us. And for our moksha shastra, as well as for the other 2 purushartha means artha and kama and moksha, where dharma, the shastra is helping out. See, for artha and kama, the purva bhaga of the shastra become pramana. And for moksha, the uttara bhaga of the shastra become pramana. For mokshatukku Uttarabhagam is pramana. For earning and fulfilling our happiness, the Purva Bhaga is a pramana. Purva Bhaga na enala irukkum? What are all the three things are there in the Purva Bhaga of a Veda?
Mantra,
Brahmana,
Brahmana, and the Aranyaka. And for the moksha, the Vedanta or Upanishad is a pramana. Then we have to see in the next class how this Veda is an independent pramana. If Veda is an independent pramana, then again it has to meet all these four requirements. Anadigatvam, Abaditvam, Arthabodhagatvam, Phalavat. It has to have all the criteria vis-a-vis the Pratyakshadi pramana. Then only the Veda becomes a pramanam, both for Artha and Kama as well as Moksha. So that will be the next discussion. So it's going to be more and more, finer than the same. And these are all the basis by which we basis for us to even enter into the Bhagavad Gita. Idu theriyama nama Bhagavad Gita la ponaka, we will not be able to grasp what the Bhagavad Gita is trying to say, because Bhagavad Gita is the essence of the Vedanta, the Uttara Bhaga. For in the Pramanam, Veda is a Pramanam, very clear. And the Veda Pramanam namakku asayada nambike vandanaka, that asayada nambike is called Shraddha. Shraddha English translation panna samayatla, they simply say it is faith. It is not a simple faith. It's much more than a faith. Eppadiingiradhum we will see. So for all this terminology, everything is used in a very, very clear manner. And ellam asekka mudiyadha ellam define panni vechirukka. And once we all get convinced, then we know how the Veda is a pramanam for us, for our four purushartha, artha, kama, dharma and moksha. Then we will have Shraddha in the Veda. Once we have Shraddha in the Veda, then we will say that what Veda says must be true. That is the Shraddha. Like for example, if the eye says that it is red, we don't question it. Do we question the eye? Unless until we have a defect. Manjakamala irundanaka, then it is different. But we are talking about a pramana which is defectless. And Shastra is a defectless pramana. So like the Pratyaksha pramana, the Shastra also becomes a pramana for Artha, Kama and Moksha. Then in which case what happens? Once we allow this eye to operate, I don't question that the knowledge that it has given, that is, it is red. I don't question it at all. I accept it. Similarly, when Shastra says, you do this yajna and you will get this result. You do kariri yajna, you will get rain. Adu rendukume pramanam is Shastra only. How kariri yajna will give us to the rain, that the Purva Bhaga becomes a pramana. How it is, we will see. Similarly, when Shastra says, the Uttara Bhaga says, you are Ishvara. Tat tvam asi. You are Ishvara anga samayatla, we are not able to accept it. Namakku Ishvara naka, somebody there sitting somewhere else, and then he has got Sarva Shaktiman, Sarva Jnanavan and all. How could that Ishvara be me? Through Pratyaksha Pramanam, I am not able to see. How can I accept it? But if we take that Uttarabhaga is also a Pramana, then we will have the Shraddha that the Uttarabhaga, what is telling, must be true. Then my understanding, there is a defect. If I have a defect, then I have to correct the defect. Exactly like if I have a jaundice and hence not able to recognize the color, an authentic person says that it is red, but I don't see it as a red, then I have to suspect my defect in my pramanam, in my eye. Then I should do action to correct it, remove the jaundice. And then I myself then verify. I don't require anybody else to authenticate. I myself, once the jaundice is gone, I see the red as a red. Similarly, once the Tattvamasi Vakyam is understood by the Vedanta, by the Bhagavad Gita, then I will know that all along what I was thinking myself as a limited person will go away. I know I am Purnam Brahma. Okay? So these are all the things is to come further. Okay, any doubt in the Kerala, all feel free, because this is all very important thing which ought to be the basis with which only we can build up our Shastra knowledge. We will also see, I will, in the Pramanam, once in Nambike Vandanaka, அந்த சாஸ்திரத்துல என்னெல்லாம் சொல்லியிருக்கு, பூர்வ பாகத்துல என்ன சொல்லியிருக்கு, உத்தர பாகத்துல என்ன சொல்லியிருக்குன்னு சொல்லி ஜெனரலா பார்த்துட்டு, தென் பூர்வ பாகத்துக்கு எப்படி நம்ம அப்ரோச் பண்றதுங்கிறதையும் கர்மயோகத்தின் மூலமா பார்த்துட்டு ஞான யோகத்துக்கு போய் பகவத்கீதையில இஸ் டாக்கிங் அபவுட் both karma yoga and jnana yoga, and by understanding it, all of us will get moksha now, here itself, in this janma itself. நிறைய டவுட் வரணும், then only I will feel that I am conveying it, because this is not a very simple thing. வேற ஏதாவது क्वेश्चन இருக்கா?
நமஸ்தே ஜி,
சொல்லுங்க.
இந்த 4 பிரமாணத்துல நான் எழுதிட்டு இருக்கேன் அனதிகத்வம், அது terms கரெக்ட்டா இருக்காங்கிறது எனக்கு வேலிடேட்.
பிரமாணத்தோட லட்சணம், அந்த 4 பிரமாணத்தோட லட்சணம். பிரமாணா சொல்லி பார்த்தானக்கா 6 இருக்கு. பிரத்யக்ஷம், அனுமானம் எக்ஸெட்ரா அப் டு சாஸ்திரம் ஆர் ஆல் பிரமாணம். 6 பிரமாணம், 4 பிரமாண லட்சணம். சொல்லுங்க.
அனதிகத்வம், அவாதிகத்வம், கரெக்ட்?
அவாதிகத்வம். நீங்க அந்த வேர்ட் டெரைவ் பண்ணுங்க, you will get a better arthabodhagatvam and palavat. Any other question? Okay, வேற ஒண்ணும் இல்லைன்னா முடிச்சிடுங்க. With the prayer you can complete it.
Sir, we have a doubt in yesterday's discussion class.
சின்ன டவுட்டா இல்ல பெருசா? ஏன்னா I am expecting some visitors at 5 o'clock. சின்ன டவுட்னா நான் இல்ல நீங்க வாட்ஸ்அப்ல அனுப்பிடுங்க. சரி, ஓகே. வாட்ஸ்அப்ல அனுப்பிடுங்க. I am expecting some guests.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. முடிச்சிருங்க. பிரேயர் யார் சொல்ற?
प्रजाभ्य परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु ओम पूर्णमदः அதுவும் போட்டிருக்கேன் இல்லையா ஓம் பூர்ணமதः பூர்ணமிதம் பூர்ணாத் பூர்ணமுதச்யதே பூர்ணஸ்ய பூர்ணமாதாய பூர்ணமேவாவசிஷ்யதே ஓம் சாந்தி 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 ஹரிः ஓம் ஸ்ரீ குருभ्यो நமः ஹரிः ஓம்
Okay.